world.
We are Growing Up Without Borders, a family of 5 on a mission to visit every country in the world.
Everywhere we go, everywhere we go, everywhere we go, everywhere we go, the sunshine. Everywhere we go, everywhere we go, the sunshine.
Over the next few weeks, we'll be showing you around different cities here in Pakistan. Today, we are in Islamabad, about to show you a crazy animal market.
So if you didn't know, here in Pakistan it is mostly Muslim.
Well, it is a Muslim country, and something they do is called Boka Manji. I'm probably saying it incorrectly, but basically it is a market here, and we are in Islamabad, and you can go and you can buy bulls and goats and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to the local market where you're going to see all the animals. Have you ever seen so many animals in your life? What?
Never seen anything like this.
Feels like we've been transported into a whole new world. Totally.
Wait, so what is Eid?
Oh, okay. So if you don't know what Eid is a massive celebration across all the Muslim faith, right? And so most countries that are Arabic, they go to these animal markets to pick out an animal to sacrifice. And it's symbolic because they've been celebrating it ever since Abraham was told to sacrifice his first son, which in this case would be Ishmael.
Now, before we get into that, I'm just going to explain that there's actually 2 Eids. So one that happens 1 month before, where they basically fast. We knew a friend who is from Pakistan, actually, who lives in Singapore now, kind of moving to Australia. Anyways, he does this where he doesn't eat, like, past sunset to sunrise he can eat, but during the day he doesn't eat, he fasts. So that's something they do. They can not even drink water, which is pretty crazy. And then they do that for about a month, and then a month later they have their big feast. And now this Eid you're seeing is where they sacrifice that animal to get all the meat to have their feast. And they actually do like a portion of it to charity, a portion it for their relatives, and a portion for themselves.
And I think some goes to the neighbors too, but maybe that's like to charities. So it kind of gets divided up into a third, right?
Something like that, yeah. So this one market we specifically went to was massive. There was every type of animal, from cow to your sheep, all unique styles. It was crazy to witness, to see, and walk there in person.
And then, of course, the pricing changes. Let the negotiations begin. So if you're buying a cow, it could go up to €1,000. If you're buying maybe a little goat or a lamb or something, it's going to be less. And what is crazy is this happens everywhere and all along the streets. When we were there in Islamabad, is you're seeing people with their animal that they just bought that's going to be sacrificed.
Our friend who was from Pakistan, he actually was there during Eid, and he also bought an animal for his family, and then they celebrated.
Look at this.
Alright, now we are seeing the cows. And we saw some donkeys over there. I find it quite interesting how everyone comes as a family to buy a animal to sacrifice. Because, like, for example, you hear about things like this, like, kind of like maybe back then or in the olden times, but no, people still do it nowadays. But what I find interesting is who would do it in the family, you know? Like, for example, our family, I don't see any of us would be willing to do that unless you brought it to, like, a butcher. You know what I mean? Because we're living in a more modernized, and certain cultures do it and some don't, you know?
I don't know. That's the big question, though. Do they bring it to a butcher to sacrifice the animal, or do they themselves do the sacrifice? Themselves.
Yeah, see? They're still,
wow.
They still do that, wouldn't
They still do it themselves.
Like, I know, like, probably a lot of people from the Americas or Europeans might not do it as much.
So
Europeans might.
Wow.
Our family wouldn't do that.
So there are too many people, professional people, they are coming to houses, and some of the owner who buy the animals, so they kill by themselves as well. This is good.
So sometimes you have a professional to help, and other times you do it yourself.
Some of the family know how to cut, so
they do it
everything
themselves.
themselves.
Wow.
All right, here's some more facts. What we just quickly learned is that they already start to set up like 20 to 30 days before.
Yeah, and some people buy at the very last minute, but when they do, of course, the price goes really high up. But the reason is because you have to keep your animal either on your own property or maybe your family's property, so it's not always easy, right?
Because they'll sacrifice it on the exact same day, so it's important to do it, yeah.
Definitely feels like we took a time machine and gone back in time, even to like the Old Testament or something like that.
This is like wild for us because we've never seen it before. And let's just explain really fast. For those of you guys who are maybe of the Christian faith, you will have a different story. So in our Bible, as Christians, it explains that Abraham was to sacrifice Isaac, right? And so some scholars will say it was, that's correct because that's what's in the scriptures. But if you read the Quran, in their Quran, in the Muslim faith, it's Abraham was to sacrifice his first son. And technically his very first son was to Sarah's maidservant, which was Hagar. So his first child, Abraham's legit first child, was Ishmael.
Yeah.
And this is why their celebration is all about that. And
Ishmael was the branch of where all the Muslim faith came from. He was the one, like, generations later, Muhammad came about and such.
yeah, that's what's said. And then, and then Isaac, of course, was the whole Israeli kind of Israelites descendants. So they both have two descendants, the same Abraham, father of many nations.
Yes.
There you go. So you see why we feel like we're being transported back in time? Like, it's so surreal for us to feel like we're like back 2,000 years ago or something. Like, it's just so unbelievable to be a part of it and to see it in real life, and then to get this understanding that we had no idea about before visiting Pakistan, like none whatsoever, you guys.
It was so eye-opening.
Yeah, really cool. So anyway, please subscribe, give us a big thumbs up, and please just comment below. Let us know which country you're watching from. We'd love to hear, and we'll see you in the next video, and it's going to be even wilder because we are going over to a place called Peshawar. Peshawar, where is it?
Right on the borderline of Afghanistan. So imagine how ancient and old looking it's going to be.
And we met someone famous, like someone super famous from Pakistan that everybody knows. So stay tuned. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.